Welcome to Season 4 of Soccer Over Gotham, an NWSL podcast covering New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC, hosted by Ruby Pinto and produced by Gary Gibson. Welcome to episode 120 of Soccer Over Gotham. This is the 2024 regular season awards show. We have a great show for all of you. Gary, what do we have in this episode?
We have an amazing season to cover. This is a record-breaking season. Everything is going well. Gotham is on fire at the right time. We're getting ready for our first ever home playoff match in history. Amazing. Before we do, we have to put a bow on the regular season, as we always do, with our regular season awards show as voted on by you, the fans. We appreciate everyone who took the time to vote on that today. We have defender, we have midfielder, we have attacker, we have game changer and MVP vote, which is going to be, again, a lot of fun. We will give our thoughts on the polls that we didn't make, such as goalkeeper and young players. After the award show, we will recap the beatdown on Utah on the road and preview the playoffs. And as always with our award show, we are bringing on best friend of the show, Jenna Tonelli, to help us out. I know we're all stuck in this doom loop together, but we'll get through this. Jenna, how are you?
Yeah, I mean, thank you for having me. And yeah, definitely tough day. But I think, the listeners should know, like, we talked about whether or not we should even do this recording and ultimately decided we should. And I think that's really important because I think one of the biggest things that is so special about doing this, and I know the three of us have talked about this so much over the past 4 seasons that we've been doing this, is the community and the people we've met and the people that are in our lives because of what we do here. So it really felt like it was important, I think, to get on here today and talk about the thing that we love and the sport that we love and the team that is just has been an absolute joy to cover, especially this season, and give everybody a little bit of a distraction and some fun and remind everybody that there's even though today feels really tough, they're still good and fun and reasons to smile. And I'm really happy to be here with you both.
Hey, thank you for coming. And yeah, like I was telling you guys earlier, today has been a roller coaster of emotions, not only for me, but I bet for a lot of people out there. So we just have to stick together. Like you said, we have this community to lean on, stick together and just power through. Usually I'm not drinking anything during the show or have a seltzer or Olipop, but today we have some wine, guys.
You busted out the
Yes,
wine.
and we have some wine. I had to. I think today is the perfect day. So cheers, guys.
Oh, cheers. I'm cheersing you with my Wegmans ginger sparkling water.
I got the LaCroix lime water.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to bring a seltzer, and I was like, you know what? No, some wine.
Honestly, good for you. That's me next after the show.
Yes, I'm already planning, like, right after the show, my wife and I, we're going to eat dinner. We're going to watch Love is Blind. A new version came out from Argentina, so we're going to watch Love is Blind Argentina, have some pasta and some wine.
That sounds great.
Right? You want to come over?
Kind of.
How are you, Gary?
I'm stuck in here with you guys. That's not the bad part. But obviously, this is a women's soccer podcast. We believe that our platform is we're here to advocate for women's rights, for LGBTQ rights, and to increase the visibility of the women in the sport and tell their stories and just create some positive change. If the results of the election did not go the way we wanted them to, and it runs counter to everything that we know and believe and value about women's sports and what we do here on the podcast. We always fighting for equal pay, anti-discrimination, climate change, LGBTQIA rights, the right to choose, racial equality, racial justice, the whole thing. So obviously we're disappointed, we're very mad, but guys, to our fans, colleagues, friends, and family members, we love you guys and we'll continue to fight. And that's it. Yeah. So let's get to something fun, which is the season award show. So first up, the polls that I did not make, which is always goalkeeper, because why would we? So let's just talk about the goalkeepers that we have, which are amazing. We just got another one back, Abby Smith. As I said on the Equalizer podcast, the unluckiest player ever in the history of the sport. But yeah, just open it up, talk about our amazing goalkeepers.
Yeah, I mean, we have 4 keepers right now on roster, and all of them are so great. I wish they were all like starting goalkeepers, but we can only have one. And of course, we seen the power that Berger has and how like elite she is and the difference that she brought to Gotham. Not undermining everyone else's talent because everyone is talented in their own way. But I feel like when she came to Gotham, a lot of things changed, and I saw a turnaround in the team, and we were winning more games and not losing many games. What do you think, Jenna?
Yeah, I agree. I think she came in at a really interesting time because remember, like early on, Gotham was kind of struggling a little bit. You know, they had a little bit of a winless section there. I think maybe it was like 4 in a row, a couple of
Yes.
losses and a couple of draws. And then she came in, and it really did kind of change the trajectory of the team. And she's just been fantastic. I mean, for me, she's an easy winner of goalkeeper of the year league wide. Tough group because you also have Mandy Haught, who has had an incredible season. You had Anna Morehouse for the Pride, and of course Jane Campbell, like always has a great season. But to me, I think what Berger brings is more than just shot stopping. She is almost like a fifth defender, just sweeper keeper. It's been a pleasure to have her in the league, and then look what she did with Germany as well. So it's been great to watch her do her thing.
Agree with all that. I think Gotham was going into this season expecting Abby Smith to be back, and when she got delayed, they had Cassie Miller, who was excellent. She's a great shot stopper, and she was great at the beginning of the season. But there was something missing from her game, which is just like Berger, just her ability to just to play the ball everywhere on the field. She's got an incredible range. So when she was brought in, it just elevated the team. So there was nothing wrong that what Cassie was doing. It's just another skill set that fits this team to a T, and she's been spectacular.
Completely agree. And look what Cassie and Betos were able to do during the Summer Cup.
Yeah.
So it's just a. I mean, Gotham truly has 4 starting caliber keepers on that roster, which is insane.
Mm-hmm. Then another poll that this is funny because I couldn't make it. The first season we had a rookie of the year poll, and then the second season we had like one rookie, so I made it like U23. And then the third season we had like no rookies at all. We had one rookie, yeah, one rookie, Jenna. So we just made it U25, and now like no one's under U25 except for Nicewanger and Berninia. So I'm not gonna put those two in a poll, but hopefully next year we'll have a 15-year-old on there.
Yes,
Maybe.
we do. But we won't have any rookies because and the draft is no
Yeah.
longer in existence. So no more draft. So we won't have a college draft next year. And it feels like every year, like the college draftees for Gotham got like shorter and shorter. We
Hmm.
had one for like what, maybe 4 months this year, and then got traded to North Carolina, Macy Bell, which by the way, she had a great goal. Remember that wrap around the defender
Hmm.
Sure
kick?
do.
Yeah.
Sure do. No, it's interesting, Ruby, the point about the draft, because like you said, Gotham historically, at least recently, has not really taken super advantage of the draft in terms of numbers. Like, they've obviously had done amazing with bringing Jenna Nicewanger on, like holy crap, what a pick. But will Gotham go after players coming out of college, or will they not? That's going to be really interesting to see for a team that has not really depended on the draft in the past few years to build its roster.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will. I think this is a
Yeah.
win now team, and I think they're just
Hmm.
dedicated to winning now, so they don't have time to develop players. I mean, Jenna came out of the box ready to go, so
Mhm.
she's a unique
Yeah.
prospect, and Bell would have took some time to get there, but and she wanted to go home anyway, so that's fine for her. But yeah, I think this is going to be a team that's going to go for veterans that can win right now. And as you see, even the players are bringing in mid-season are like Jessica Silva is a player that can play now and she can win. So, I love youth development, but it doesn't seem to be in this team's
Yeah, that's what
future.
Gotham was really like focused on this year. They brought a lot of experience and international players, like you said, Jessica Silva, Carter, Berger, LaBelle, Sonnet. Like we have so many international players, and now Jasmine Ryan has been called up.
Mhm.
So the talent is there. We have a lot of talent. So like I do agree with you, Gary. I don't think Gotham is they're probably not gonna go for a college player that just came out of college. No offense, but
Now, unless there's a Jenna Nyswanger or someone like
yes.
that, yeah, coming out like one of those top three picks, you know.
Hmm.
So we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, the roster is almost always full, so it's gonna be something special that's gonna have to
Yeah.
come out of college and want to come here. So, which is cool. Let's jump over to the polls we did make, which is defender of the season. We had a three-way race of Niswanger, Davidson, and Sonnet, but it ended up being a one-horse race, and Sonnet won it 79%. And I just assume that we all agree on that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, big time. I mean, Davidson obviously was incredible. Had a kind of an in and out season with a few
Mhm.
injuries, so I think that hampered this vote a little bit. Nightwalker had a much quieter season, but I think really gone is like into the groove of what Gotham is doing. So still like super solid, doing what she needs to do. But Sonnet, I mean, she would have been an Iron Woman if not for those yellow card accumulation. I believe. I think she basically played at least every game. Maybe she came out. I don't have all the stats in front of me. But just was so important on the back line and so just, I mean, the fact that she started every game just shows how much they relied on her back there. And I think she just was excellent.
Yeah, definitely. And last year, we were talking on the show, how was Gotham going to like fill Ali Krieger's shoes? And I think they found the perfect person in Sonnet because she's been able to like take on the job and do a great job, and all the stats show that. So yes, I do agree that she is defender of the year.
Yeah, most recoveries from a defender, center back. She's won 65 duels. She's been 25 matches this season, which is pretty amazing. And I think the most important thing is that she doesn't make mistakes. 90.4 pass accuracy, especially on a team like Gotham
It's
that
giving
plays.
Ali Long.
Yes, it is. It is. And with a team like Gotham who presses high and can get caught upfield a lot, having a defenders that do not make mistakes and are tidy with the ball. And I think the thing that jumps out to me most is that she doesn't make the easy pass, which is crazy because like you be watching the game and you see someone who's wide open, you're like, okay, that's an easy pass to make. That's where it's going to go. It's going to go to this person next. Okay. But she will pause, read the field, and then pull it back and go back to Berger. And you're like, why did she just do that? And then all of a sudden Gotham's off on the other side. I don't know how she saw it, how she felt it, but she has been so good at manipulating defenses with just feints and moves and just, yeah, she's been amazing. She's been my favorite player to watch this season, maybe other than Yasmin Ryan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well said.
Yeah. And then we're going to get to midfielder of the season, which is fun.
Oof.
We have Martin, Lavelle, Sheehan, and Ryan. This was a tie between Lavelle and Ryan. Martin and Sheehan were behind them, but your thoughts on midfielder of the season?
Yeah, poor Neil. You really getting the shaft on this poll with 8%. But I mean, I get it because I mean, how do you pick? And it's interesting to put Ryan in the midfielder role because I know sometimes he plays up, sometimes he plays midfield. So like and I know she kind of shows up in both polls. Lavelle obviously was just so crucial for Gotham this year. Like when she was on the field, it was just a significant elevation of the entire team. But my heart goes with Delaney Sheehan. I just don't think that in totality the team works without her. Like there's a reason she's started basically every game and that she's always on the field and the build up goes through her. And the only thing I want to see more from her is a little bit like quicker decision making in the box because she'll get there. She'll be in such a good spot. But sometimes instead of shooting, she'll look for the pass or something like that, where sometimes I think she's in good position. But I just she's so crucial in that midfield role that it allows Yasmin to be Yasmin and it allows Roosevelt to be Roosevelt. Like she is the engine that is keeping that cohesiveness. So I think for me, it's Delaney.
Oof. I think it keeps getting harder as we go on, especially with right now with the midfield. Everyone is like performing and doing their job in their spot. Sheehan, yeah, she's done a lot. And like you said, like I think there was a game that she didn't start. And usually I do not ask for Sheehan, but I was like, we need Sheehan. come on, bring her in. I'm not sure if it was Summer Cup or the Champions Cup, the CONCACAF Champions Cup, but she didn't start, and I was like, oh no, we need Sheehan. Where is she? I usually don't ask for her because, like you said, she decides to like do the pass instead of like shooting. But now we know she's a goal scorer, and honestly, she brought a lot to the team this year. But also, I cannot like have blind eyes to what Ryan has done this year.
Yeah.
She has stepped up for this team and she has done so much work. She's scoring goals and she got called up for the US national team. That's huge.
So
I think that
deserved.
exactly. Now she went to play. She did a great job out there. So I am going to go with Ryan.
I got it. Sheehan and Martin tied. I think for the same reasons that you said about Delaney Sheehan, I say the same things about Ryan. There was a couple of games where she was not there and the team just did not look the same. So those players are just so integral to what this team does that either one of them, I could have gone with midfielder of the season for me. But yeah.
And it's interesting, I think, and sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just think like this conversation makes it so clear that Gotham is such a team, and like it's such a cohesive team, which is why, and I think, I was going to bring this up when we get into the Gotham MVP discussion is, when you're talking about like an NWSL wide MVP, like you think about like a Temwa Chawinga who like carries, KC or a Barbara Banda or someone like that. Gotham doesn't really have that one singular person because they're all doing that. They're all stepping up. So I think this is really indicative of that.
Agreed. Let's jump over to attacker of the season. Fans chose Stevens 42% over Lavelle, Esther, and Ryan. I'm curious what your thoughts on that, Jenna.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is so tough. I think God, this is so tough. Stevens was a revelation this year. I mean, she came in and just exceeded everyone's expectations, found a home for herself at Gotham, and has thrived and is just like has impressed me so much and has really captured fans' hearts and has the goals to prove it, to back her up. I think if Esther had been healthy, this would be hers, period. Like I mean, I think she leads the goal scoring when all is said and done for the team. And she, I mean, you saw her in that last game, like she was just incredible. It's a real tough tie. And then Yasmin Ryan again and Lavelle. I don't know. This one is hard for me. I can't say.
What about you, Ruby?
All right. I know it is tough. It is tough because we have so many great players. Again, Ryan, Stair, LaBelle, Stevens, and like you mentioned, Stevens, like nobody expected that from Stevens. Honestly, when she came to the team, I pretty much expected her to be like, the sub that comes in when there's tired legs on the field and she'll come in, like and help the team out. But I was not expecting her to like excel like she did and start scoring goals like she did and the kind of goals that she was scoring and assisting goals. The no look assist to Sheehan. Oh, that was an incredible goal. Her scoring on the Chicago Red Stars and then giving a kiss to the Gotham crest on her.
Iconic.
Exactly. So I'm torn like you are, but also in the beginning of the season, I kept saying Esther is going to be that person who's going to show up for Gotham. She's going to show up and show out. We didn't really see her much because of course, she had surgery on her foot and she was out for some time. But now when she was back and it was like she never left. She came out in scoring and came out for Gotham. And this one's tough. I'm between Esther and Stevens.
Yeah,
but
same.
I think my gut's telling me to say Esther.
They all have a case. They're all in there for a reason. They all have a case. With Esther, like I still think it's funny at the game where in Jamaica where everybody else was scoring goals and she didn't. She went from that game forward. She's been on a complete tear. Like she stepped up, and then like with Esther, it's like if you get her service, she's going to put balls in the back of the net. And we'll talk about it in the Utah game. She got 2 good balls at her feet. and she put them in the back of the net.
Yeah.
That's just what she does. I think overall, gosh, this is really tough. I'm just loving what Ryan's doing this season. I think she stepped up. We'll probably talk about this later, but we had a mid-size hole on the right side of our lineup, and she filled that. And we were wondering who was going to do that, and it's just been her. She's been amazing, and she's been assisting and working hard on the defensive side. She was leading the team in recoveries last game as well. She's putting like Lynn Williams type performances in. And we haven't done Lynn Williams much this season either. So it's been a big, big season for Ryan. So let's keep it going there.
Yeah, it's interesting what this conversation could have been if without some of these injuries. But
Right.
yeah, what a nice problem to have.
I know, right?
So many good players, we can't pick one.
Let's get over to Game Changer. This one, these last two categories are funny because I had 8 players or so that were in the conversation for MVP, and I was going back and forth with Ruby and Jenna. We just couldn't figure it out. So I woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I nailed it down to 4, and then I had to find places for the other ones that just didn't make it, like Berger and Stevens. So I put them in the Game Changer because they deserve to be in both. It is what it is. So Game Changer is basically just someone who came in and wasn't a normal start at the beginning of the season, but came in and changed games when they were there. So it was Berger, Stevens, Hyatt, and Freeman. Jenna, what do you think?
To me, this one is Ella, hands down. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just like Mandy Freeman obviously has had a great end of the season. I mean, a couple of goals, one in the CONCACAF, whatever tournament that is, and one in her regular season, her first ever, and like what a goal, one goal of the week, as it should. But I think overall season front to back is Ella. Like changed she changed the team, whether she was starting, coming off the bench. Just like her addition to this team has just been, I think, more impactful than any of us could have anticipated going into the season, especially with all the big names that came in. Yeah, for me, it's her, hands down.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I couldn't give it to her in the last one, but she definitely deserves the game changer of the season. So I totally agree. My God. And honestly, I hope we keep her for next year because she is such a great player.
Absolutely a hero. She had the same kind of effect that like Katie Stengel had at the beginning, middle of last season, where it just came in and the team just was not plugging on all 4 cylinders. And then like she comes in, starts scoring goals, and the team gets back on the run again. So she definitely changed games when she was in there. And go back again to that goal against Chicago in the dying seconds. That's what a game changer does. But yeah, let's get over to the big one, which is the MVP race. And it was Esther, Sonnet, Lavelle, and Ryan. And this one was interesting because Ryan was ahead for a little bit, and then Sonnet pulled away at the end. So it is Sonnet as the fan vote MVP. Do we all agree with this?
I do. You know
No,
what? You
go
know
ahead, go ahead.
why? You know why? Okay. Because there's a point where, like everyone loves a goal. Everyone loves like a striker that can like, make goals and make. But I appreciate a great defender, Even though when I played soccer, I was a forward. But I do appreciate a great defender because, I mean, you're definitely like the last line before they can come and score at your goal. So you have to put that extra effort, especially with the teams that we had this season: Orlando, KC, Washington, all these great teams. And I think she's done a great job. I want to give it to her because we got to give some love to the defenders as well.
I agree with that. I don't think I agree that she's my MVP, which I'll explain in a second, but I do agree with what you said that she has just been so fantastic. And actually, I think there's a case for her to be Defender of the Year league wide. I really do, especially with the way that Gotham's high line plays and that high press and how she's able to execute, track back, make recoveries, all that. I mean, excellent, excellent player. But I think, and Rose got the least amount of votes in the fan poll on this, which is fascinating to me. But I think I'm going to go with Rose because I just remember like there were games where I was like, if it was not for Rose Lavelle, Gotham would have lost this game. Like, there were some magical moments where she just Rose Lavelled in the most Rose Lavelle way, and willed the team to some of these wins, like some of these like single goal wins, and she like there was just truly moments where I was like, yeah, they would have lost or drawn without her. I think for me, it's Rose, and it's not just because of the goal scoring, but the chance creation, the creativity, the ability to get the ball past, these defenders and these other teams with some of the best defending that we've seen in the league in a long time. Yeah, I got to go Rose on this one. I'm shocked she only got 10% here.
It is true. I am also shocked about that as well. We got Rose is on a mission this season, and I think Jenna, we talked about this before the season we first got Lavelle. I mean, we talked that she had crossed the 12 game mark like 3 times in her whole career for her club, and she's played almost every game for Gotham and the Olympics.
Yeah.
And she's doing so at such a high level, and she seems to be like just on a tear, and she wants to win, and she's been amazing for us. And I do think she's been also a game changer. And you're absolutely right. Some of those games where we just didn't seem like we had a spark, she gave us that spark. So I definitely think she's up there. But I think this is Yasmin Ryan's season. I'm going with her over Sonnet.
I was about to say I want to split my vote now with Ryan, but
no, it's impossible. I mean, because Yasmin Ryan, she stepped up when Gotham lost Midge and has had such an incredible season. She got her first not only national team invite but appearance. It's just what a season from her. Yeah, this is a really hard one.
Yes, we're blaming Juan Carlos for this one because everybody's playing so well.
Exactly.
Right?
It's his fault. Send him angry emails. Why is this team so good?
Yeah, it's just incredible. And Esther is good because she's like she's doing the right thing to win contests. You finish on a high, so she's been tearing the league up at the end. So she put a little bit like, what have you done for me lately? I did all this lately. So, but yeah, I still got Ryan just edging out Sonnet.
Yeah.
You guys know how much I love Sonnet this season.
I know. Again, if Esther was healthy, I think this would have been a different conversation if she had played more games this season, because she clearly has it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is the award show. So we're going to jump over and talk about this game past weekend. And it was a good one for Gotham. We were curious on how Gotham was going to line up in this last game. Were they going to take it seriously? Were they going to come in with a lot of fire? Or were they going to sit back and just absorb and just take it easy? But they went at it. And Tina Davidson was out, which is interesting. Hopefully she's back for the playoffs. Taryn Torres was questionable. And Kelly Hara, Midge Purse, Silva, Dawn Fairley, and Kaiser were out of this game. So Esther was up top, Stevens and Ryan accompanying her, Lavelle, Sheehan, and Martin in the midfield, Freeman, Hyatt, Sonnet, and Carter on the back line, and Berger in goal. And we had all 3 backup keepers on the bench. And Bernina, Neiswanger, Lopez, what a bench, Torres, Zerboni, and Lynn Williams. Just your thoughts on going into this last game with the fire that this team had?
Well, when I was talking to Neely in the pre-match presser, one of the things she said was how the team was really upset that the Shield was out of reach for them. They really wanted that. And so I think they were going into this game to do everything they could to get that second place to ensure, 2 home playoff games should they be successful in the quarters. They were fired up, and this is a Utah team who, although they were on a bit of a hot streak towards the end of the season, here had really nothing left to play for, and not really even able to play spoiler. Like, Gotham was going to be a top 4 team no matter what. So kind of a weird matchup, although Utah was at home and I'm sure wanting to end things on a high note. But I think, and another thing Neely said was that, they saw that game as a real preparation for the playoffs, playing a team on a hot streak with something to prove. And I think they were successful in just executing every possible part of their game plan. And Gotham looked real dangerous coming into the playoffs, and is probably, got the Thorns worried, I'm sure. So yeah, I think they did everything they set out to do there. And I'm not surprised that it was a blowout.
Yeah, definitely, like you said, definitely a great game to like go out with a bang and like kind of like get ready for the playoffs. Love to see Mandy Freeman in the starting lineup. Always love to see that. Exactly. Love seeing that, especially because she's been with this team for so long, and I feel like going into another playoffs, possibly another championship. It's so great.
I was really surprised to see Rose starting. We had done a couple polls about who we thought was going to be, the Golden Boot winner, and I was definitely expecting Rose not to be playing because she had played on Wednesday,
Hmm.
and she came in and she started again. So she again is another thing for Rose that she just wants to be here. She wants to play and she wants to win. She had no business starting in this game, but she did anyway, and she looked awesome. Gotham just went to work. This was clearly a mismatch from the beginning. I think this is playoff Gotham soccer. It was just calculated. It was in sync. The defense was just being efficient. And we talked about this earlier in the awards show, but Sonnet 94% passing, Carter 92%, Hyatt 90%, Freeman was 83%, and Neely Martin was 95%. So it's just this team was efficient. It was clean. They were pressing. They were moving Utah around. It was an excellent, excellent preview of what Gotham can do in the playoffs. So let's just have some fun. Let's talk about these goals. And it was a great work from Esther to free a ball to Stevens, who just plays the ball across. It gets past Lavelle, and then Ryan makes no mistake, upper shelf. I mean, it's just all Gotham. That first goal was awesome.
Wait, was it Ryan the one that missed the goal in the U.S. national team when they were playing?
She
I
didn't
think she was
score,
like right in
right?
front of goal,
Did she?
and she kicked it, and she didn't score the goal. It like hit the post or something.
No, that was the Utah game.
Yeah, later
That
on
was
in the
the Utah
Utah game.
game. Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
god. Okay. There's been so many games. Like
It's
Right.
I
too
don't
much.
even.
No, it's too much games. I know. Yes, yes. She hit the post in the Utah game. Yes.
Oh my god. I could not believe that happened in that game. But of course, thank God she did score a banger. Definitely a banger in that instance. And like you said, Gary, like she's just been such a like breakout like player this year, and that's why I had to split my vote between her and Sonnet, because she's been so good and she's been showing it game after game. And this game also showed that. It was such a great goal.
Then I would say the moment of the match. This is for the fans because we love Mandy Freeman on this show. The fans love her. She is Gotham through and through. She scores her first goal and it is a golazo. One touch to the right side around the defender, far post, and this is going to be a theme going on through this podcast. But poor Mandy Haught. Uh,
No.
every one of these goals that Gotham scores is just inch perfect, and she has no chance on any of this. What a shot from Mandy. Just amazing. Just to see the joy that she had after scoring that goal. Awesome.
Oh
Talking
my gosh.
about,
And her teammates, just like the way that they all like reacted to that,
Hmm.
it was great.
oh,
And just like you
yes.
said, Gary, what a goal! Like what a screamer! I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with it.
She couldn't
Yes.
believe it. You saw her face. She was like in shock that she made that goal, but it was such a beautiful goal and she scored it. She deserves it, honestly. And that's
Mm-hmm.
her first regular season goal ever. She scored in I think that was the Champions Cup.
Yeah,
Hmm.
But
trunk
yeah,
thing. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but this is like her first regular season goal, and it was such a golazo. Such a golazo. And like you mentioned, Gary, talking about Mandy Haught, the third goal when it was called back because of an offsides, I felt really bad because that was the third goal and it looked like she wanted to cry. Like to me, like she was like so frustrated with her defense and she wanted to cry. So I felt bad for Mandy because once Gotham, always Gotham.
Yeah, and the announcer said, I was very happy about this. The announcer said that Mandy Haught and Berger were the two best keepers in the league. I was like, all right.
Yeah,
We'd have pardoned both of those. I agree.
yeah. I
So,
agree too. To me, those are the top two for sure.
yeah. Second half was a bit slow at first. Gotham is definitely toning it back a bit and dialing it down. And Stevens has a couple of chances. I mean, Gotham's pretty much on cruise control. Utah scores one back, and it gave a little bit of the vibes of remember when we played Portland that last game, or like, we had no business being in that game. It kept clawing our way back, so it
Oh,
kind of felt,
I'll never forget that game.
yeah,
2022, last place.
yeah,
Oh my God, best day of my life.
yeah. Had those kind of vibes to it. But then Gotham wakes up, and both Stevens and Lavelle lead the game at this point, which I thought was interesting because that leaves all players at 7 goals except for Astaire. And then Mandy, for the second time in the game, but does an amazing thing. She's got her back to goal. She cuts around the defender, picks her head up. What a ball to Astaire over the top. It just lands perfectly in her path.
Oh my
And
God, on a rope.
yeah, magic in her boots. Astaire just puts it right over Mandy. Mandy has no chance. Just amazing.
That assist and goal combination has got to be Gotham's best all season. I mean, it was just incredible. First of all, that ball from Mandy reminded me of both Ali Krieger and Christy Mewis, because I think those are two players that have such a good, accurate long ball pass that was, I didn't see as much this season after they left. I mean, they were just so good at that. And, I think Gotham has evolved in their play a little bit now that they've worked with Juan now over multiple seasons. So it's not as needed, but seeing that pass and then that goal, like that chip, I was just like, it's like one of those games where you just like, because I'm covering the game, so I'm taking notes and, whatever, thinking about how I'm going to cover it. But you just like sit back and you're just like, damn, like I'm just watching some real good soccer right now.
Yeah, again, poor Mandy. Perfect positioning. Just what are you going to do?
Nothing you could do.
Yeah. But Astaire was not finished. When she gets going, there's pretty much no stopping her. And it was like the Red Sea like parted. She's coming across the goal. Ryan puts that low ball across. It just opened up for her, and the back heel into the back of the net was just perfect. And every player couldn't believe it.
She couldn't believe it herself.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those that like I'm gonna try it, see what happens, and it goes in, and
Yeah.
you're like, what? Like it just went in, and it's such a beautiful goal at the same time because you're not expecting that. Like usually you see a header, whatever, and that back heel, and then the celebration was great. Oh my god! And that puts her as a top goal scorer for Gotham this season.
Yeah.
Hands
Incredible.
on. Any takeaways from this match you want to talk about?
No, just what I said before, that I think it was a really good showing for them ahead of the playoffs. And I think it gives them the confidence and momentum they need to take on the Thorns, who I think of all the teams in that bottom half of the playoffs are the ones that are most likely to cause an upset. So this is just good momentum for Gotham going into that.
Just want to say it's been, again, an amazing season for Yasmin Ryan. She's been incredible. I think we need to build Mandy a statue. And again, poor Mandy Hot.
I
Aw.
agree.
What was she going to do in that last one, too? Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. So, but I was on the Equalizer podcast last week, which was a lot of fun. I was very happy to get a guest appearance on somebody's podcast. And it went really well. Dan Loletta sent me a personal note that I thought was really nice. I appreciate him. So that was really nice. And on that podcast, I was very good on messaging. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that nobody wants to see Gotham in the playoffs. And this is this is the best season of a team that just won a championship. 2.5 points per match is the best anyone has done after winning a championship. So Gotham is on a roll, and they look good, and they're just picking up, and they seem to be on fire at the moment. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Do you have any stats for the game?
I do have a stat. Well, kind of like a fun fact, I guess. So this season, 9 goals for number 9, who is Esther. That's my favorite number, by the way. Well, I have 2 favorite numbers, number 9 and 23.
My age.
Yes.
Yes.
I love 9 goals for number 9. That's great. I think mine is 1, which is Mandy Freeman's first regular season goal. It's just
Yeah.
so deserved, so cool. And just again, what a screamer. Like, I just love it.
Nobody wants to see Gotham in the playoffs. We have 14 goals in our last 4 regular season games. We're rolling.
Yes.
And this puts a bow on the regular season, which has 56 points, best in club history by 17 points, which is a
It's
ton.
insane.
17 wins, the most in club history by 7.
Ooh.
We've never had more than 10 wins in a season. Incredible. We got a plus 21 goal differential. I think it's 9 higher than our last best goal differential, and we have the least goals against in a season history for this club, and it's 1-20, and it's one less than we've ever had for this club.
Wow.
Esther finishes at 9, as you said, and then Yasmin Ryan ends up with 5 assists. What a crazy season!
So fun.
I know.
I know. It is so fun because, like they won the championship last year,
Mhm.
but you bring new elements, new players, new everything the following season, and sometimes like it could either make or break a team. Usually they don't do that well, but Gotham was able to be consistent even though they brought so many players in. They were able um find that chemistry on the field, off the field as well, and you can tell. And I think that's really important for a team, and it shows. And I think this season has show how much Juan Carlos has done for the team. His coaching style works, and again, is like I was not expecting this season to be as good as last season.
Yeah, some teams rest on their laurels, and Gotham did not do that. You look at some of the teams that were like, look at Seattle. They were in the championship last season. They
Yeah.
lost half their roster to Gotham, but yeah, Gotham picked up a lot of players. They raised their level, and last season was crazy because we made it just by goal differential into the playoffs. But this season, the top 4 teams of this season are just incredible, and they're better than any team that was in the playoffs last season. So it's going to be an incredible playoffs. I can't wait.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what happens. I do hope there's some upsets, although not for
Hmm.
Gotham because I want to see them go all the way, of course. But I think it's like you said, these top four teams is just unlike anything we've seen in this league. And we talk a lot about parity in the NWSL, but this year there was no parity with those top four teams. There was the top four teams and then the rest of the table. It was just night and day. Kind of cool, kind of interesting. Glad that we get to cover Gotham and what they get to do. So really looking forward to these playoffs.
Player of the match, fans chose Freeman, of course,
Hmm.
52.5%, just over everybody at 23. Ryan and Esther were in there as well, but do you guys all agree?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Between that goal and that assist, it was just yeah.
Yeah, it was her night. She also had, besides the Galazzo, she had 85% accurate passing, 100% successful dribbles, 100% tackles won, and she had 4 or 5 accurate long balls. And so she had an assist as well. Just an incredible night for Mandy. We're so proud of her.
Yep.
Absolutely. So let's talk about playoffs. We have an opponent, Portland, number 6, coming into Harrison, New Jersey on November 10th at 3 p.m. on ABC. And correct me if I'm wrong, any game on ABC is on ESPN Plus. Is that correct? Anybody
I
know?
do not know.
I don't know.
Feel free to fact check
Question
me.
mark.
I know.
I know that's how crazy this deal
TBD.
is. That
I
we're
would
like
say
we're a whole season into this.
I say probably, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Feel free to fact check me on that.
They
I
might have like
know.
at least the Spanish feed on ESPN Plus. Sometimes that
Mm.
happens. If it's on ABC, they'll have the Spanish feed on ESPN Plus. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, me either. Honestly, like I hate complaining, but I've been complaining about this the whole season. Like where you have to find out. Like usually my wife's like, "Is there a game today?" I was like, "Yes, there's a game today." She's like, "Where?" I was like, "I don't know. Let me find out." Like I have to check every game, even if it's not a Gotham game. Like I have to go check like if it's gonna be NWSL Plus, if it's gonna be Paramount, if it's gonna be what else do we have? Ion, if it's Prime.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely been an adjustment. I mean, I think like it's a net positive for the league to be on all these multiple outlets, but I do agree that it's been an adjustment in trying to like
yeah.
remember which ones are on which channels on which days. Like I never remember, so I always have
Yeah.
to check.
Yeah, it was like if it's on Paramount Plus, it might not be on that Paramount Plus. It might be on the higher
Plus
Paramount
plus.
Plus, or it might be in the
Well,
sports
Paramount
section
Plus
under
Plus.
live under this, and it's like it's just yeah,
Well, yeah, yeah. Anyway,
yeah. So
Yeah.
as far as the playoffs, Gotham until the finals avoids both KC and Orlando, and Chicago and North Carolina on the one side, and then we have on our side Washington, Bay, and Gotham and Portland. I'm just curious about your thoughts on avoiding that whole left side of the playoffs until the finals.
I don't think it matters. The Spirit are
Hmm.
crazy good. Like
Hmm.
Yeah.
if Gotham can get past Portland, which I'm pretty confident they will, though Portland will put up a fight.
Hmm.
Bay is going to take on Spirit. It'll be tough for Bay. I mean, who knows? Playoffs is a whole different ball game than the regular season, so you never know. But honestly, like drawing this Spirit, I think is really not great for Gotham. They never won against them in the regular season. And they did, win against Orlando. Granted, it was after they clinched the Shield, and they did 2 draws against Kansas City. So I don't know. I don't think there was no like good side to be on there. Although I do think it's interesting that only one of Orlando or KC can make the final. I think that's kind of interesting.
Right. Yeah. I think I would have been different if Gotham would have lost to Orlando in their last game. But Gotham like gave a few goals to Orlando in that game. And I think now I see like okay, Gotham has like all this season they've been getting better and better. They got to play Orlando, which is the best team in the league, and they got to beat Orlando, which is the only other team that beat Orlando. I think it was only the Thorns and Gotham who beat Orlando. So like Jenna said, I don't think it would have mattered at this. To me, it doesn't really matter at this point because they've gotten a lot better since the beginning of the season. Even the middle of the season, they've worked so much that they gotten better, and you can see it game after game.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's one thing that helps us kind of not helps us, but like some teams they change their formation, they change their style
Hmm.
per their opponent. But like with Gotham, you know who they are, and they don't change for nobody. So this is going to be fun, and they're going to try to impress their will on everybody. Curious though, which if you think one of these teams, North Carolina, Chicago, and or Bay, has a chance of doing something and upsetting the topper the upper seed.
That's a good question.
I really think Portland is the most likely to have an upset, and not just because they're playing Gotham,
Mhm.
just generally speaking. I think that they are the toughest team. Although BAFC has been getting it together, especially since Abby Dahlkemper came on.
Yeah.
Rachel Kundananji doing her thing. Like, oh my god, did you see what she did? Where she like got on the ball
Oh
before that?
yes.
That was insane. But yeah, maybe BAFC. North Carolina has looked not good the past couple of games, which is kind of weird because I thought they had not like the greatest season, but like they were like a solid team. They were unbeaten at home. But in that last match, I don't even think they had a shot on goal. Like, or maybe they had one or two. They just did not look good. Similarly with Chicago, they had a little bit of a bright run there at a certain point, like earlier in the season. Jenna Bike was playing amazing. Mal was scoring, and then they just kind of dipped off a little bit. So, but again, the playoffs are not the regular season. So
Yeah.
look what Gotham did: sixth place in on
Yeah.
goal differential and won the championship. So you never know.
It's interestingly from like the 8 teams that are going to the playoffs in their last game, the only 2 teams that lost this past weekend was North Carolina and the Chicago Red Stars. And the Chicago Red Stars have lost their last 3 games. So I think I'm going to go with Chicago.
Okay. I want Bay to win because I want a home game. So I want another Gotham home game. So if Bay wins, we host, which is great.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go Bay.
Yeah, lower C comes to us. So yes, but yeah, I think they are playing us, but Portland is probably the most situated to kind of make a deep run. Of the 4 teams, North Carolina could do it. It's just they've been faltering late, and I don't without Caroline, they're not really
Yeah,
very exciting
that's true.
offensively. But I think Bay is probably the one that could probably pick off the upset here.
Yeah.
They have the talent up front that can do it.
Mm,
Washington, I don't know, man.
yeah.
I don't know Washington, man. I just think I think they're playing above their weight sometimes. Washington, they always seem to pull it out, which is what great teams do. But man, sometimes I think that they get a little bit lucky in games. So I think Bay has a chance here. So yeah, let's go Bay.
Because
Bay.
I don't agree. I think that
Yeah.
Spirit has been phenomenal. I mean, it really, I mean, them missing Croy Bethune is actually like a
Mm.
Right.
huge disadvantage for them. And I think that does change their ability maybe towards the latter end of the season. Because of that, they stumbled a little bit more than they had previously, although
Mm.
not really. I think I don't know, I think the Spirit are scarier than Orlando. I don't
Really?
know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why. I just think maybe because Gotham did get that win. And even though, again, like they had clinched the shield, they didn't really have anything to play for. They kind of were able to get that like feeling of what it takes to beat Orlando. But Spirit, they just never did. And they never worked that out, even though I guess they won the Summer Cup. But like, does that count? Really? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And KC, I mean, it's like when they play Gotham, it's the Chewinga show because
Yeah.
I mean, her ability to get past Gotham's line, and then however, I do think both of her goals were offside during that Summer Cup final. But that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is she is so incredibly brilliant with her timing to make those runs on Gotham's high line that Casey, I think, is like so if Gotham collects poor Neely Martin, like whatever. Anyway, I'm rambling. But
So
yes, I do think Spirit is tougher.
so do we all agree it's gonna be Bay FC? Because
I would like it to be.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I mean,
So
obviously
we can get
Gotham.
another home game.
Yes. I mean, Gotham doesn't care, but yes, I would like to get another home game.
Yeah.
So this game against Portland, 3 p.m. again, Red Bull Arena. And then, so Gotham's on fire at the moment, and they should be pretty healthy squad. And then, with Portland, is Weaver? She did not get hurt in the last game, right? She's still good.
I think so.
Okay,
I have to check. I can't
because
remember.
she changes that team. They're a
Oh
completely
yeah.
different team
Mhm.
with her and not in it. So I do think Gotham is very good at shutting teams down on the wings, and I think that trying to force balls into Weaver might play into Gotham's strengths. But I think it's going to be a good game, and I can't wait to see it. And I hope Gotham locks it down, spends the entire game in their half, and pulls off 1 or 2 goals and gets out of there. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, yes. Like Gotham has to go all out. This is a playoff game. And like we've been saying, a playoff is different than a regular season game. So we know they're going to go 110% in this game with the Thorns. But then again, like you win or you win. If not, we're not going home because we're playing home. So we're gonna stay home. But hopefully, Gotham is able to like find those connections. Hopefully, with all the wins that they had in the past few weeks, like this momentum keeps growing, and they go into this game confident and knowing that they can win.
Gotham's got too much firepower. I think if Lynn Williams is healthy, that probably pushes Stevens to the bench. And gosh, you want to bring on a player late in the game to change pace, it's going to be Stevens. So having a front line of Esther, Yasmin, the way she's playing, and Lynn Williams, that's pretty lights out. And then that midfield of Lavelle, Sheehan, and Martin, who've done everything as far as what this league is concerned. So I think this is going to be a game for Gotham, and they get another level. So I'm pretty confident.
Do we think
Anything
Mandy's
happen.
gonna start this game? She's been performing.
And she's healthy,
Yeah.
and what training looks like. So I mean, I think she has earned it, but we'll see.
Yeah, could be her, could be Carter. I'd probably see one of those two, obviously. But I would love to see Freeman. I think she just, again, like you guys do, she deserves it.
Yeah.
So what are we manifesting for this game?
What else?
To win.
A win.
Yes.
Ruby and I are on the same page. I want them to keep going. I want another home playoff game. I'm dragging my butt to KC. I want to see them in that final.
You're going?
I
Oh my.
99% sure
Okay.
I'm going. Yes.
Yay.
I want a big turnout. I mean, I haven't heard anything. Have they opened up the upper bowl at all, or have you heard anything?
I
Not
haven't
that
heard
I heard
anything
of.
about it actually. No.
We need you all to get there, especially what's going on right now. We need to be there. We need to let off some steam, have some fun, and sing along with Cloud9 and just get rowdy. It's gonna be a fun night. So any random thoughts before we head out?
I don't think I have any.
Everybody be kind to yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Reach out to your friends and family and loved ones, and the sun will rise again tomorrow, and we'll. Sounds so dramatic, but
I know.
it feels that way right now. So
We'll
I
keep
think
fighting.
we keep fighting and just we'll get through. We have to.
There's a lot of people who are going through it right now, especially our LGBTQIA plus friends. And so if you can donate to the Trevor Project, do so. It's a great project. And I just want to thank you, Ruby and Jenna, for getting me out of my space for, an hour. I needed this.
Yeah. It felt good. It actually felt really
did.
good to not think about it for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually like planning to cancel. Honestly, I was telling
Same.
you, honestly, I'm not feeling it. But you know what? I'm gonna show up, and I'm glad I did.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really glad we did this. It felt nice and normal. When things don't seem so normal right now.
Yeah, yeah. I think also I'm probably gonna stay off social media for a little bit.
Me too. I think I need a little bit of a Twitter break.
Yes, especially Twitter.
Yeah, Instagram I'll probably still pop in on. So you can follow me at Jenna Tonelli on Instagram, and I'll probably I have some playoff stuff coming out for Sports Illustrated, so I'll be posting it on there for sure.
Yeah, plug in your socials. Plug in your socials.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm at Jenna Tonelli across basically every platform. But I think I need a little Twitter breather for the time being. It's just it's not what it used to be, that's for sure.
And like always, you guys can find us on YouTube now, on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as Twitter. But if you want to take a break from Twitter, you can find us all those platforms. Follow us, and we're also on all the podcast platforms. So just follow us.
We're on YouTube now?
We are on YouTube now.
Don't put this on YouTube. I look terrible today. Like,
Listen, we all feel it today. So
no, you guys both look amazing and like so sharp and nice. I look like a crazy person. I look like a person who got 2 hours of sleep last night. Basically, is what I look like.
Yeah.
Dude, I went to sleep like at midnight. And my alarm didn't go off. I woke up by myself like at 4:45 to check on my phone, and it was sad. But anyway,
I basically laid in bed and was like just dissociating till like 3 a.m. And then I kind of dozed off and woke up again at like 6 or 7. So,
all right, everybody, we love you, and we will see you next week.
On that note,
I know, right?
Soccer Over Gotham is brought to you by a dedicated team of Gotham FC enthusiasts who aim to bring you the latest news, analysis, and in-depth discussions about Gotham FC and the National Women's Soccer League. This podcast is hosted by Ruby Pinto, Noella Franco, and Gary Gibson. This show is produced and edited by Gary Gibson. For more Gotham FC content, follow the show on social media at Soccer Over Gotham on Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. Also Over Gotham Pod on Twitter, X, to join the community. For news and updates, visit soccerovergotham.com. To support the show, please rate us 5 stars on Spotify and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Purchase merch at the show's official TeePublic store. Search all 4 words, Soccer Over Gotham Podcast. Subscribe so that you don't miss a thing, and share the show with anyone who might listen. Word of mouth is everything. Thank you for making it this far. We will see you on the next one.